What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be talking about how football players can avoid concussions. So we're going to be talking about some tackling form tips that can help you stay a little bit safer on the field, talk about some of the best helmets that you guys can purchase for safety precautions, and also you guys are going to talk about some neck exercises that you can do to help you, again, prevent getting a concussion. All right, so first things first, fellas, we're going to talk a little bit about tackling form. Now, this is a common question that I get asked from a lot of players, usually on the defensive side of things, and as most of you guys know, I'm not a defensive guy. I don't ever claim to be a defensive guy. You never see me make videos on like defensive backs, linebackers, D-line, anything, because I don't have any experience coaching that position or playing that position. So I kind of try to stay in my lane with quarterbacks and receivers. But this is stuff that I've picked up along the many years of football that I have in terms of coaching, in terms of playing, in regards to tackling form that can help you stay safe. Because I feel like a lot of, especially younger coach, or not younger coaches, but like youth coaches don't necessarily spend as much time as I feel they should on tackling form and safety. I know that some guys do, but I feel like they need to spend more time on it and continuously spend time on it throughout the season, because obviously safety is one of the most important things when it comes to tackling, because you got to protect your brain. There's life after football. No matter how far you take football, there's going to be life after football, and you need your brain for that, okay? So first things first, you got to keep your head up, right? So if you're going to tackle somebody, a lot of times guys will dip their head down when they go to make a tackle. That's how you could really hurt your neck and ultimately get a concussion. So you got to make sure that you keep your head up when you're going to make a tackle. Number two, you got to try to stay low. I think a lot of guys get trucked and they get this big collision because they're running at a guy and they're very, very tall. Mistakes I made as a player, as a quarterback, is that like I would throw a pick and then I would go try to kill somebody because I'd be upset and I'd be running super tall and I'd get freaking creamed. And those are the ones that hurt the most, you guys. So you got to make sure that you stay low, you keep your head up, and then when you tackle somebody, you got to wrap up, where you're grabbing their legs and we are wrapping them up, but still keeping your head up and keep your feet driving as you do it. Again, not a defensive guy. There are probably a lot of little intricacies of tackling that defensive guys could teach you, rugby guys could teach you, but those are the basics that you want to focus on to help you avoid maybe getting a head injury or any other type of injury. Now, fellas, before we get into the rest of this video and talk about some helmets that you could purchase and some neck exercises that you can do, if you're a quarterback or wide receiver watching this and you would like to train with myself and my staff of coaches this offseason, go to that very first link in the description below. We are traveling out to 15 different cities across the entire U.S. for 2-day-long QB and wide receiver training camps. Our camps are already starting to fill up, you guys. Some camps are already 50% full, and these camps will sell out 3 to 4 months in advance like they did last year. All of our camps last year sold out, so make sure, guys, you take advantage of us having available spots if you'd like to train with us. The next state that we're going to be coming out to is San Francisco, California. Then we'll be heading out to Orlando, Florida, Phoenix, Arizona, Columbia, South Carolina, Seattle, Washington, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Nashville, Tennessee, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Austin, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, Denver, Colorado, Columbus, Ohio, Boston, Massachusetts, Salt Lake City, Utah, and finishing it off in Los Angeles, California. So guys, if you're local to any one of those cities or would like to travel out, we'd love to have you there. It's 2 full days of training, but we can't accept everybody because there'll be too many people and guys won't get individualized coaching, which is what we were doing this for. So guys, very first link in that description below, it's where you can sign up and get access. We'd love to see you there. So fellas, we're going to talk about some neck exercises first, and then we're going to be getting into some helmets that I feel that are the best helmets in terms of safety, okay? So neck exercise, we're going to give you 3 different neck exercises. So number 1 is going to be like a side-to-side head tilt, and you want to do this with your football helmet on. So you have your football helmet on, and again, the reason why you want to strengthen your neck is it helps you, like, okay, think about it like this. Let's say you get a big hit, right? Where do a lot of like quarterbacks, let's say, get concussions? They get hit as they throw, they hit the ground, and their head whiplashes back and their head hits the turf, right? So there was like, obviously news, or it was in the news that like Tua Tagovailoa, who got a lot of concussions 2 years ago, worked with like a wrestling coach and a jiu-jitsu coach learning how to fall and to protect his head and protect his neck so his head doesn't hit the ground. That's what a lot of these neck exercises do. It strengthens your neck, so when you fall, you kind of have that control and that strength to not let your head whip back, which can cause a concussion from the ground. So all the first exercise is going to be is you're going to do just a controlled 2-second, like I guess you could say, decline and then raise your head. So again, doing this with your football helmet on, all you're going to do is you're going to turn your head like this, and you should feel a stretch in your neck here, and then you're going to pull up just using your neck. And you want to do maybe about 10 to 12 reps going this way, and then 10 to 12 reps going the opposite opposite way. Now, another thing that you could do is going to be backwards and then forwards. So you're going to stand like this, and you're going to tilt your head all the way back, and you're going to go nice and slow. So you're going to tilt it back all the way for 2 seconds, and then you're going to come up. So that's another exercise that you could do 10 to 12 reps of as well. Make sure to do this with your helmet on. Then there's another one where you're going to let your head hang down wearing your helmet, and you're going to go up and squeeze your neck, and then come back down. Up, squeeze your neck, then come back down. And there are probably tons, there's probably hundreds of neck exercises that you could do that you could look up on Google. But those are 3 simple ones you could do before practice, getting ready for practice, whatever the case may be, to strengthen that neck to help you avoid getting a concussion. Now, fellas, let's talk a little bit about helmets, okay? So I think every single year there's always some new advancement in helmet technology, like, oh, this helmet's rated this, helmet's rated that. Guys, like, honestly, like, if you see like professional athletes wearing the helmets, college players wearing the helmets, generally it's pretty safe, okay? Now, a good way to test the safety of a helmet is just go to Google. Simple. Google, type in Virginia Tech helmet safety rankings, and they rank all the safest football helmets when it comes to head injuries. So like a highly rated helmet is like the Light brand helmet, L-I-G-H-T, insanely light helmet, a little sketchy to me, but it is highly rated. You got like a Schutt F7's highly rated, a Rydell Speedflex is highly rated, Vices is always highly rated. So guys, like, there are tons of helmets out there that you can get that are safe, that are highly rated, and they're all pretty close in ranking wise. But if you want some information on what the safest ones are, what the science is behind some of the stuff that they put into the helmets that make it safe, just go to that Virginia Tech study. And I'm telling you right now, any one of those helmets on that list that's highly rated would be great for you. At the end of the day, guys, like, you know, a helmet's gonna protect you. Don't get me wrong, but it's only to a certain extent. You're wearing the highest rated, best helmet, cost you thousands of dollars, and you get popped in the head the right way with a guy who maybe is leading with his head, or maybe you have improper tackling form, maybe your neck isn't as strong and you slam and hit the ground, you're gonna get concussed. That's the unfortunate part about this game, is we play a very violent game. There are more violent sports. You look at like MMA, you look at boxing, right? But football is a very violent game, so it's tough to take like precautionary methods to concussion. If you're playing worried about getting a concussion, that's maybe not the best course of action, because you're going to play slow and you're going to hesitate. I'm not saying that's not something that you shouldn't be concerned about, right? But if you're electing to play football, you're electing to play tackle football, the things that you could do to make sure, like, to set yourself up for maybe not getting a concussion is what we talked about in this video. And those are the kind of the only things that you can do. Strengthen your neck, work on your tackling form, and get a helmet that's going to protect you maybe a little bit more so. But guys, I'm telling you, concussions are scary. Concussions are bad. You need to make sure that you tell somebody on your team if you get a concussion, because there's something called the second impact syndrome, where if you get, like, let's say you get your bell rung and you get hit in this spot in your brain, you got a concussion. If you get hit in that exact same spot again, that could lead to a serious brain injury. That's the fear of concussions, and obviously the longer, like, term effects of them. It sucks. It's unfortunately a part of our sport, but I hope this video was able to give you some precautionary methods to help you avoid it.